This conference will now be recorded.
Hi, Arvind. Hi everyone, Kuldeep.
Hello, hi everyone.
Hi Harish, Arvind,
Yeah, hi.
Sian.
Hi.
Hi Shailendra.
Hi, Dishan.
Hi. So everybody can hear, right?
Yes.
Shailendra. All right, Kuldeep. Kuldeep, can you see me?
Yeah, no, actually, I think I can just see.
Okay.
It's grayed out.
Okay. I think actually there are five more candidates. I don't know. Maybe due to weekend they haven't responded.
Maybe this is the long weekend, right?
Yeah. If we can wait a couple of minutes, then that could be fine. All right, gentlemen. Good morning. I hope you had a great weekend so far. So, actually, we are from Learndeep. We do consulting, machine learning, and AI projects. We are a group of couple of 8 persons, who all are experienced in machine learning and artificial intelligence. Especially, there are the people around the globe, like from US and Germany and Canada and India as well. So our group is uh, well qualified. It means they have graduated from IITs and bachelors and the masters as well. And 3 to 4 people are got doctorate in Canada and US, and two other people working for BMW, like autonomous self-driving cars. Even today's presenter Kuldeep is work for ISRO. Actually, some of you might don't know about ISRO. It's like for US it is NASA, and they do a work for space, right? Like for India it's ISRO. So he worked for ISRO like couple of years. I think he will give better explanation on that. And today the presenter, the machine learning with Python, it's just an introduction lecture. Like the followed by there is a couple of series of lectures is we already planned. So before going further, I think I'll request Kuldeep to uh, take this opportunity to take further.
Yeah. Hi, everyone. So, a very good morning, and I hope you had a nice weekend. I will just keep my screen and maybe turn off video just for a better bandwidth. Like that will help me. Yeah. So, just to start, so I'm Kuldeep Kumar. Currently, I'm doing a postdoc at Saint Justine Research Center in Montreal. I did my PhD, which was in computer science and neuroscience from ETS in University of Quebec in Montreal. Prior to that, like I had my bachelor's and master's from IIT Kharagpur, and I was working as a scientist in Indian Space Research Organization, where I was able to also work on like Mars orbiter mission. Like we had like 3 payloads, and that was a nice mission from India. So other two instructors like with me would be Praveen. So he is also a researcher at University of Quebec. He did his master's from IIT Guwahati and he was a senior software engineer at Samsung Research. And Naresh, so he did his master's from Indian Institute of Science in Bangalore, and he was lead Samsung research at India. And also right now he is like senior tech lead at BMW Germany. We also have like a parallel course which is going on. So like we are the 3 instructors which will be taking care of. So the overall goal here is to give you a brief idea like what would be the motivations and all, and then to provide like what you are going to learn in this, and along with that a detailed course description like what is and how this is going to be slightly different from other online courses or like what we have to offer to you. So I will just start with a basic like introduction. So for example, so what is different for machine learning compared to traditional programming? So what used to happen like in giving a very broad overview. So in case of a traditional programming, you will have data and you will, so, and then you feed it as well as you write your program and you will get an output. So, for example, if I'm going to ask you, like, have you played chess? Like, any one of you, have you played chess? Um, okay. So it's like if I am to ask you to write a program for, say, chess, what you will do is like you will figure out some set of rules and then you will try to like, okay, you have to follow these rules and you will write some heuristics. If I start with this and that, so there would be like a lot of permutations and combinations. So that can work like if you have like 2 or 3 choices. For example, you go for a shopping, okay, I have to buy a chess board. There it's fine, like okay, there are 3 options, I can decide like what. But when there are like the permutations, they go on and the complexity increases, then it becomes intraceable, like and the computational power is increasing. So there comes like machine learning, where the goal shifts from like instead of like relying more on heuristics, what we rely is like we rely on the data more. So here the story is like you feed the data as well as a set of labels or the outputs to the computer, and what it will try to give you is like a program. So what it means is like based on the data, it's going to learn like what should be the output. To give you an example again on the chess, so have you heard about the Alpha Go and Alpha Zero? Like any one of you? So, okay, so this is like essentially in 1997, the Deep Blue, which was like a supercomputer. So this is like a brief story kind of thing. So in 1997, there was a competition between Gary Kasparov. He's like a champion in chess, world champion in chess, and the Deep Blue, which was like a supercomputer from IBM. So in the 6 games, he was beaten, but that program was more like, you know, the what are the possible permutations and combinations. So recently, like over the last couple of years, like Google's DeepMind, they have developed some programs, including, for example, the Alpha Zero. So here what they do is like they feed lot of simulations of the chess program, and the program itself learns the strategy. So what the difference arises is like some of the paths or some of the strategies which we as a human are not able to think, those would also be figured out by this, and it took like just 4 hours to learn. So this is just to highlight you like what is the difference between a traditional programming and machine learning. It's just like we shift from more like heuristic based approach to more like a data driven approach. We let the data do the talking. So now I will like give you a brief overview like how this has come over. So have you heard about the Turing Award of 2019? So I guess like you might follow on that. So the three of the pioneers in deep learning, for example, Yoshua Bengio, Geoffrey Hinton, and Yann LeCun, they got the 2019 Turing Award, which is like a Nobel Prize equivalent in computer science. So this is like a brief history of the AI. So it started in like 1956 when there was like a workshop in Dartmouth College in USA, where a set of researchers they get together and they officially started artificial intelligence as a research in academic domain. So then there was like a inspiration, like the perceptron was introduced in 1958, which takes motivation from how our brain works. So what it tries to do is like the perceptron, it tries to mimic how a neuron is processing the information, so which is like a building block of our brain. So this is like a motivation for the AI is like how we as a human we work or we process information. For example, even now when I'm speaking to you, so I am like formulating my sentences. I'm trying to like, okay, whom I am interacting with, what is the topic, what I have to convey and all. So I'm processing a lot of inputs which could be sensory and all, and then I'm giving output. And you are like, when you are listening to me, so your brain is processing, okay, what is being told, what are the words and all that. So this is like the basis of like, or the basic motivation towards most of the AI is like driven by the human brain. There have been like a lot of advances in between, like for example the perceptron was there, but in between there were like computational challenges. We didn't have like hardware or the computers which could solve all those programs. So what then it led to an AI winter. So there was no fundings like available for like a long period of time. But then around 2000, then there was like with the development of the new hardware and like different lot of data sets, for example, from Google or like Flickr, Facebook, and all those things, then there has been a burst. So this is like a rough timeline. It started with like a lot of hard work from many of the researchers, and the recent thing is like it is highlighted by the Turing Award, which was given to three of the pioneers of AI. So next is like the question which will come to us is like, so we hear a lot about these words like, okay, so what is deep learning? There is machine learning, and then there is artificial intelligence. So it's always like thrown like one word and now another word. So nowadays, mostly like even for deep learning people, they try to use like, okay, it's artificial intelligence also. So just to like give a broad idea about this terminology. So artificial intelligence, the goal is like any machine which can perform like an intelligent task. It can be our calculator, it can be a simple robot, or it can be like a simple like answering machine. So this is like a broader umbrella. So under this like comes a specific set of like machine learning, so which are like set of algorithms where the goal is to represent the data and extract information from that which could be relevant. So there are different kind of models which are there, and within this like there is a subset which is like a deep learning which are kind of like a set of models like convolutional neural networks or like Turing machine and LSTM and different models which have been developed over the past year. So this is a broader picture. Now the thing which comes out is like, so what is the motivation like? What are the applications of machine learning? Why there is so much hype which is going on? So I will ask, like, do you have like an email account? So everyone has like multiple email accounts, I guess so. So for example, there, like with a rough estimate, there are more than 5 billion email accounts are there. And so as such, like the number of emails which are being sent day in, day out is in the scale of billions. Now imagine like you are working and or if a person he's going to get an email from a prince in Nigeria who is like going to send me the gold. So we know this, okay, there is no prince in Nigeria who's going to send me gold. So we know that this is a spam. But imagine like you are going to get something from Canada Revenue Agency, like a phishing site. So you can either lose your sensitive information or you can lose like some part of like for example, some people who get scammed and they lose a lot of money. So this is a very important thing for many of the organizations to detect such kind of emails, which are called spam, from the regular emails. So what is the basic way what would be the basic intuition you will have to like detect a spam? So if I can ask any one of you.
Anyone? Harish?
Yes.
So
Yeah. Yeah. Apu. It could be
so
like
yeah, yeah, go ahead.
uh, for a spam, like, so as you mentioned, some phishing emails. So that could be like grab our information, right? To get our information.
Yes.
Um, but maybe like, so based on the keywords in the subject or in the content of the email. So based on that, I believe that so they're gonna do so they're gonna filter all our emails. So based on the keywords. So if they find the keyword, so they're gonna put uh, the emails into the spam folder.
Yeah.
Is that
Yeah, perfectly. So that's like one of the things. So here, what we are employing is like our knowledge. Like, okay, if there is a prince from Nigeria, I know for sure, like he is not going to be like true, or like if the subject is something like, okay, I'm going to send you gold, or like the contents are like that, then we know that this is a phishing. So what we are employing here is like our knowledge. But imagine like you have to do it like for billions of emails, so then you cannot just rely on the knowledge and all. So what usually they try to the approach for this is like we think of it as like a data driven approach. We'll take a lot of spams, and then based on the information and content from the sender, the IP address, all this information, so that's kind of like fed into a model, and that tries to determine which email is spam or not. But the objective, like when the advantage of machine learning here is like it is able to generalize. So it not only learns on the data on which you are going to feed, but what it will try to do is also it will try to learn a model so that when the new data is also coming, it will be performing robustly. Whereas like if we just employ our knowledge, okay, this is a prince from Nigeria, then that would be restricted to those kind of scenarios. So this is like one of the cases. Another example is like, for example, if I'm going to search on Google, if I'm going to search, so what do you want? Like, what would be your preference? You would want like what is most likely link you want to click. If you are going to search for the weather outside, you don't want to get an information about weather in Toronto. You want, if you're searching for weather in Montreal, you want to get information specific to that, or like if there are warnings specific to that. So this is like essentially ranking the output of the web pages based on what you want. Another example of this is essentially if you are want to do a shopping, like if you are doing e-commerce, I guess like most of you have used like shopping pages and all, and then you get thrown a lot of advertisements. So have you had like any recent transactions or interactions on online shopping platform? So,
yeah,
so
Kumar? Like so for example, when I search in a Google for some product, so it's going to appear on my Amazon account. So is this something related to this, right? I
yeah,
think. Okay. Uh, yeah, nice.
okay. So For example, like in this, so what happens is, like, imagine you want to book a flight and you make a search on your Google page about the flight. Then even if you go to a weather page, you will be seeing that there are like pop-ups which are like based on your flight, which are going to come over there. So this is essentially like ranking the page based on your search, as well as like content placement, like advertisement and all. So it is customized to a particular user. So if I'm going to ask you as a friend, like, okay, what you want to do, so I know your preferences and I can suggest you based on that. But if the Google, or like for example Facebook, or any general search engine or a site, it has to suggest, so it has to customize or tailor made to specific people. So this is another thing, like where the content base or the web page ranking and the content or the advertisements are like important. So this is like another example where machine learning is useful. So for the third one, for example, this one, so have you heard about the autonomous driving, like, or Tesla, like anyone of you, like, for example? So, for example, so this is like a very good example of application of machine learning. So when we are driving a car, so we are taking the information from the environment, like, okay, what is the color of the light? Should I go or should I not? What is the speed limit? What are the things which which side of the road I should drive if there is a passenger which is coming? So this is essentially like processing a lot of information. So now, for example, for autonomous driving, so these informations, these are fed into or captured using cameras, and then based on that, instantaneous decisions are taken which can lead to driving. So this is going to like leading to self-driving cars, and also like for example BMW, and they are exploring. So yeah, can I like, okay, I got like a question. Yeah, so just a minute, like I had like a question maybe in terms of the chat. Nope. Like search for Apple in Google search engine, you can get Apple products. So this is like from Celine, Aravind. So this is like search for Apple in Google search engine, you can get Apple products rather than the fruit apple. This is based on ranking, right? Yeah, exactly. So if you are going to search like, so imagine first time if you search like apple or fruits and you go on customizing that, then the higher chances would be to get the apple fruit. But most of the people, I don't think they are going to search for apple fruit. So when you search for the Apple products, they get customized. So even the advertisement which will pop out on another pages, they would be like specific to the Apple products, like that. So now coming back to the self-driving car. So in this case, like what is happening is like you have to take a lot of information, process it, and take an instantaneous decision. So if we as a human do it because we have our brain, which is like processing all this information. But for a self-driving car, or for example, a self-driving truck, this would have like, this requires like a lot of processing power and all. And this is where machine learning comes into picture. If we try to write a rule, we may miss one thing or another. Okay, the driving speed may be missed, or like if the road condition is going to change, we may miss it. But if we try to feed it like based on the data, then they are going to perform better. So this is like an image of the DARPA challenge, which is like the Defense Department of US. Like they have been organizing a challenge since 2000, early 2000s, and this has led to a very nice developments, like which is like an example is the Tesla, like the recent products from Tesla, or like the self-driving trucks from BMW and on. So these are the few examples where like a traditional like approach or would not fare that well, whereas like if we are employing a machine learning approach, that is going to work better. There are multiple examples also. So for example, Alexa, if you are using Siri, or like Google Home, or any of these products, or if like for example you are like in a financial company and you want to know like which people you want to send a specific credit card offer. So you don't want to send it to everyone. You want to send it to the people based on their incomes. Okay, this particular credit card would be suited to them. And so these are the tailored things. Similarly, for example, in e-commerce, you have a lot of transactions which are going on. So you want to detect whether there is a transaction which is fraud or is it genuine, so that you can like keep the safe security as well as like of the e-commerce platform. So this is like to give like some of the aspects which are like why machine learning is like getting popular and like it is going on now. So then the next thing is like why machine learning now. So this is like, so there recently there has been a report, like if you like by McKinsey, so which is like a consulting firm. So they did an analysis on the potential of AI and what are going to be its impact. So it is going to impact many diverse fields, but the estimated like overall contribution to GDP is estimated to be like $13 trillion by 2030, which is like a huge amount like of the world GDP. So the question then arises is like, why now? So I'm going to ask, like, for example, Aravind, so you use Facebook, right? Hello. Hi, Aravind. So, so we use like, for example, Facebook or like YouTube, we watch like every day. So when we upload like anything on Facebook or when we click on anything on Facebook, so what it does is like it creates a data point. Like we are telling the Facebook, okay, this is my preference. This is the type of things we like. So these are like data points. Now there are like billions of interactions happening like that every day. Similarly on YouTube, like there are 100 hours of video being uploaded every minute. If a single person he starts watching a YouTube video today, he cannot finish all the YouTube videos in his lifetime. So there is like huge amount of data which is getting generated. So this is like the one pillar of this thing, which is like big data availability. So we have like a lot of data to learn from. Then the second thing is like the computational power. The second pillar is the computational power. So we used to have like the CPUs, which were like the brain, the computational power used to be more driven by that. But now we are also getting like the powerful graphical processing units. So the slight difference is essentially a graphical processing unit has like it's a specific type of microprocessor which can deal with like a large parallel task, but can only focus on one task at a time. What it does is like imagine you want to do one specific task. So then it will give you a power to do it like 10 times or even 50 or 100 times faster than with the CPU. So these things, they allow us to deal with the big data which is there. Then the third thing or the third pillar is like the new machine learning techniques which are coming up. So every day, like either we hear like there are neural networks like AlphaGo is being developed, or like we are beating we are developing new methods which can like play better chess, or like a player in Go. Or even like if you follow the news, like recently there was like on the black hole image which was reconstructed. So we had like huge amounts of petabytes of data, and then to learn the machine learning algorithm was used. So it was and based on that, then the final black hole image which was being constructed. So these are just to give you an idea, like what are the three pillars which is driving right now. So some of the aspects were there before, like for example, some of the concepts in terms of machine learning techniques, they started in 1950s, but then the two other pillars were not there. But right now is a time when we have like all the three pillars, like there is big data which is available, there is like the computational power which is available, and then we have like the new machine learning techniques which can infer, like which can take this data as an input, or a simplified term which can feed on this data. So just to give an example, like if you have like an image, like imagine you take a photo and you want to process it to name it, like okay, what is going to be there and all. So it's going to take around 250 seconds on CPU, but with the GPU, it's going to be like around like 1/10 of the timing. So these are the advances which we are getting. To give you a better idea, for example, so there is like an ImageNet challenge which is there. So what is ImageNet challenge is like, we want to recognize images, or we want to classify them into say 1,000 categories. So this is like, for example, I will give you an example of a baby or like a kid. When we teach a kid, like, okay, this is a cat or this is a dog, we give one or two examples, and after that, a baby can recognize this is a cat or this is a dog. This is how like we learn, how our brain is learning. But for the computer, we need to feed it like a lot of samples. So for this, like the ImageNet challenge was created, where 1.2 million training images, they were taken from Flickr, which was like an online platform for images and all, and they were annotated to 1,000 categories. So like what it is there, like there is a bird, there is a frog. So this challenge was going on from 2010 and all. So in 2012, there was like a sudden jump, like from the error rate, like it was like 26% to it jumped to 16%, because that was the time when Google Net was used. So this is like a deep learning architecture. And recently, like in 2017, we got an error rate of 3%, which it means like if the machine is going to classify the images like, okay, it's a bird or a frog, it's only going to like get a 3% error rate, whereas in 97 cases it's going to be perfectly fine. And this is better than the human error rate. We have like a 95% accuracy when we are doing this. So it means like, is it over? No, there are like multiple things are still there. So for example, like what we want to do is like, we want to understand the whole image, like what is the background, what is there. So as a kid, like he understands the context also, like as a kid without teaching, like if he's going to fall down from one place, he's not going to climb that same place second time. He understands that context and all. So this is called scene understanding, which is still going on. So this is just to give an example of like what is the potential of ML. So now to come to a point like which is like more useful to you and me, like why we should learn like machine learning right now. So if we go to any of the job postings, so we are going to see like there are machine learning job postings, data scientists, and like AI, and then there is like 50% expected job growth which is going to be there, and the average salary is like at least 100,000 and plus. Even like in Canada, so this is like the estimates of machine learning jobs in Ontario and overall Canada, it's going to be like huge. And for example, Montreal itself, like to give you an example, Montreal and Toronto, they are going to be the hubs for these things. So this is like an opportunity, like the optimal time where the resources are there, where the demand is there. So what is there is lacking is like the skill, which is like, that's why we try to focus on the skill, like what is required for this. So now to give you an idea, like, so for this particular course, what we are going to cover, like this is like a big picture. So the focus would be like, we will try to cover the fundamental concepts of machine learning, but our primary focus would be on hands-on experiences. So what we will try to do is like, we will have a lecture usually, then the next class would be a tutorial, and then we will give you a small data set to try it hands-on. So the primary focus is like to introduce you to the concepts, and as well as like focus more on the hands-on. So for this, like we will be using Python primarily, and then we will also like try to do the other major goal would be a real-time project. So we will towards the end, like we will go for a real-time project. So for this, like either you can look into some Kaggle challenges which are there. Imagine you have to predict the property prices in certain area. So that's like one of the projects which is there. Or if you have to like estimate like in terms of the insurance. So these are like the in terms of the business or the topics which are coming nowadays. So this is like a broader picture. So if you have any questions, like you can ask me or like later on. I can also give like, so to give you a broader, like a more detailed idea of like what the course is going to cover. So we are going to give you an overall introduction of like what are the different types of learning like approaches are there. Then within this, like what are the classification techniques, each one of them. So for example, we will cover support vector machine, random forest, and for each one of them, we will have like a concepts class, then we will have a hands-on tutorial, and then we will give you like a small data set to try that on your own so that you gain expertise. And in between, we will have quizzes so that we can like get whole like, okay, if you are learning or not. So next we will also cover like the regression techniques, the clustering which is unsupervised, and also like some deep learning techniques with application to deep learning. So this will also like this will also require some like concepts from linear algebra, like maths and all calculus. So we will have like some of the basic courses on like on this, like prerequisite courses. So we'll try to cover these basic concepts, and then the key thing will also be like to focus on data, like if you get a raw data, how you are going to process it, how you are going to feature engineer, like what features you need to use, and what are the basic approaches you can apply. So this will also lead you to like hands-on experience on various libraries from Python, including NumPy, Scapy, and sklearn, Pandas, and Matplotlib, as well as like a real-time project.
Kumar, I have a question here.
Yeah, sure.
So for example, like if I'm like a beginner to the Python, or actually like if I don't have the programming knowledge, so how difficult is to get into the machine learning?
So like if you have like basic programming only, like if you can know like, okay, what if you can type and have basic information on that, then it can be started. Like the Python is very easy. So the hands-on tutorials which we will be doing, we will start with like how to install some of the libraries, how to use them, and we will also give some use cases. So that will develop, like this is like the Python hands-on. So you will also develop like the expertise on Python and how to use these libraries.
Okay, that's awesome. Yeah, cool. Thank you.
So for the next, like what we plan to start with is like in terms of the supervised learning, we will start with the background, motivation, what are the real-time applications, definition, and list of algorithms. So this is just like a overall idea. And so if you have any questions, please go ahead.
I think you can unmute Sian, Sailendra, Arvind. You can speak out.
Just questions about jobs.
Yeah.
Kuldeep, like, do you have any like idea like what's out there? Like, I haven't researched what postings out there, but I think most of us are in software development, quality assurance. So do you have any kind of QA jobs on the ML?
So actually, like for example, now there are like potential if you want to like in my personal suggestion would be like one thing is like your interest also like, but one of the things is like banking sector or like the finance which is there. So if you develop the expertise on these tools, like if you are able to take like a lot of data and work with the Python libraries and all. So one of the simple things or like one of the good things would be like to enter a finance sector and where the salaries are also very high. So that's one of the things. Also, like I think like Gandhi Appara, like he can suggest to you all on that because he has done like a nice case study on that. So yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I think Sian, not even QA, I mean testing or developing side. Recent times we have been like communicated with some of the companies' chief operating officers, even in software gaming or financing, and we have communicated with the BMO and Bell people. Because the testing, I don't know your background. Maybe if you are in testing or in developing side, down the line, the people are going to be like the takeoff from these, manual people. Especially even in testing, also you can use with Python, right? So why do we more emphasize on Python with machine learning or data science? We could do with different languages. Either with R we can do, Python we can do, and we can use SAS as well. But among them, 70 to 80% of industry is handling with Python.
Correct.
And last week, yeah, even in the last week, we met Ludia Chief COO. Like he's actually imported from France. He explained that they right now there is the people are not available in any sector, and the people out there they are paying like a lot more than we expected, especially in this. Okay, so the background, even one of our past students, his background is pharmaceuticals, but now he is working as a data scientist after this. So
Okay.
irrespective of your background, irrespective of your experience with machine learning and data science or AI, so actually everything is same, either data science, AI, or machine learning. The people, they are not educated, or probably they don't have knowledge on that, so they just simply call it as machine learning. Even
Right.
the data, because if you see, as Kuldeep stated, that we are dealing with the data, right? Like data processing, feature engineering, all this stuff. It's
Right.
all in the one umbrella called like AI.
Right.
So even data science, machine learning, deep learning, reinforcement learning. So there are different terminologies, but all are under same umbrella called AI. So
Correct.
our intention is like, because we do have the people work for as a senior tech leads since last 10 years, we are trying to make them like a small community of people. We are trying to help them to develop, because down the line we have people from University of San Diego and Stanford universities. They are researchers among one of our colleagues. So our intention is to make the people understand and easily applicable into the industrial prospects. Even if you take any sector, transportation sector, logistics sector, even transportation means like Bombardier or
Right.
Canadian National Railways or CP, all these stuff, these are transport. So huge amount of data is available, huge, it's really huge. So the people
Right.
don't know how to, even just a basic example, every day you are traveling from A to B. I mean, like from A to B, origin to destination. So see, every day you are following the same path or same lane. So you might understand, okay, there is a signal, there is a stop sign, right? So you are feeding data into your mind. But one day there is a traffic, there is no signal in your phone, but you can take the decision, right, based on that. So that's what is happening in the data. So the data is available in every sector, but the people don't know how to use the data. Even in a QA part here, in machine learning also, we directly don't say like quality analysis, but there is a component called data processing, data pre-processing. So that data pre-processing usually do quality analysis. Whether the data, we usually, maybe the next class, Kuldeep, we will be explain you, but there are two parts. One is training data, the other one is testing data. So they do testing, and they do once again like evaluating the particular data, whether the data is okay or not. But
Right.
here we don't go like the conventional testing techniques like HPLM, or I don't know, there are
No.
different techniques available, right? But here our approach is different. We do test the data, we do see quality analysis here, but the different approach here.
Correct.
So, and coming back to the what we call the job prospects, if you see, if you just type like data science jobs in Canada or Montreal, or machine learning jobs, you'll see plenty of jobs available around us, right? But we don't have proper guidance, especially.
Okay.
That's where actually they're lacking out there. So that's where our intention also.
Thanks, Gandhi.
Now that, yeah, yeah, that's
So
it.
one more to add, Gandhi, is do we need any certification at the end, like to get into the job market in this area?
Not exactly. The people out there, because we do have consulting firm, so that's why I'm more confident to state that the people out there, they're trying to showcase their skills, not because even Learndeep also provides certification at the end of the course after submitting the live project. But the prerequisite, if you see job descriptions and all, the people at the end of the day, they test your skill set. Are you really understanding the data? Are you really know how to use the libraries? Because in this, there is not big challenge with programming. Here, programming is very minimal. We could say like 20-25%. But the
Okay.
rest of the things, the level of understanding on data, especially the domain knowledge. Do you
Okay.
mind which organization you are working?
I'm working for CN, but I also have a big data background in Hadoop.
Yeah, okay, that's great then. So see and imagine. So if you know that the domain knowledge, okay, so you know already about CN applications, right? So that
Correct.
means you know the idea about your domain, then it's very easy to understand the model. Okay, if you know the what kind of model is directly related to your domain, then that's it. There's not a big deal on that. Just only thing is we should know the domain, and we should know the what kind of algorithms is applicable to the particular model. That's it.
I see. Great. Thanks for the
Yeah.
insight.
Sorry.
Thanks so much, for the
Yeah,
insight.
yeah, yeah, yeah. Thank you. Arvind, any questions? Hello, Arvind. Arvind, you there?
Gandhi, sorry, another question I just thinking about.
Yeah.
So this is how long the courses will be? Like how many weeks or months we are looking at?
Oh, actually, we have planned like for weekends because most of even the parallel courses are going on. Most of the people are working people, right? So
Right.
only Saturday, Sundays, the classes are being held. So
Okay.
it's like it depends upon the student also. If the student like really pick it up, the
Right.
topics, then we can wind up within 3 months.
Okay. So it's
Uh,
like 2 hours a week,
because
like
yeah,
kind of.
because our intention is to the candidate has to be understand the program the
Exactly.
subject.
Right.
So because every class, I mean every next class there is a quiz, 5 to 10 questions. It's everything
Right.
is online. So
Mhm.
then after there is a demo on the model with Python because and there are some classes I tell you, two to four classes only with Python. So
Okay.
handling with Python, using the different libraries, and in there are different programmings on that Python especially. So out of that, it will be wind up within 3 months. 3 months is calculated as a weekends, not like the total.
So it's like
Because
so it's
yeah,
roughly like once 1 hour a
2 hours a
week
day.
on
Yeah,
weekends.
1 hour. Yeah, 1 hour is lecture and 1 hour is on model. I mean Python application. So,
Okay.
because if you don't understand or if you skip the class, we can
Right.
join in another batch. So there is a parallel batch. So you can
Okay.
join there and you can catch up that class and you can come back here. And
Awesome.
we do provide like the recorded lectures.
Okay.
And yeah, so the recorded lectures and the presentations will be shared with the candidates.
Right.
So, and you will be added to the group with the instructors. And there is any changes and there is any updates available. And because, our intention is to make you guys to be involved in one of the Kaggle competitions or something. So those are the showcases. If you are able to, if you are able to finish like any Kaggle competition or somewhere there, so that's very easy to showcase your profile into the companies, right?
Exactly. Yeah, yeah. And
So,
then also,
so
is
that's
is it the only course you're offering, or you have any other courses in your?
So we have like mathematics and artificial intelligence.
Okay.
So that is there, and we have another instructor. I mean, another team is working with mainly with what we call Python programming because Python we can use in different applications, right? Not only
Right.
with machine learning. Python, there is a Python programming course as well, but that is irrelevant to our machine learning with Python.
Okay, so it's like a 3 different courses kind of you
Yeah,
offer.
3 different courses. Yeah, especially with which are related to AI and ML, machine learning. That's it.
Okay, great. Thank you,
Because
Gandhi.
our team is more highly qualified only with machine learning. Because Kuldeep is he did his PhD in machine learning related to AI, and
Right.
Praveen is also work for Samsung scientist. He worked for NLP, natural,
Okay.
and he worked for images with
Mhm.
among about 8 years. He worked for Samsung, and there is another instructor Naresh. He worked for Samsung, and now he's working for BMW with this. So our team is more into machine learning and AI.
Okay. Another
Yeah,
question. So instructors, like I know Kuldeep and yourself are here in Montreal.
Montreal.
Like,
Yeah,
so the other teams, like other members, like in Germany, like in different time zones.
yeah. But no, but these people will be connected to EST timing only, our
Okay,
timings.
okay, gotcha. No problem.
Yeah, because most of the people in US and Canada, I mean the team,
Right.
so the instructors team. So yeah, so we connected to EST timing only.
Okay, sounds great. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you, Siddharth.
Uh, yeah, hi, this is Arvind. Actually, I have a question regarding to the syllabus update. Can you please go back to the slides of the syllabus, like neural networks and everything? Uh, yeah, yeah.
Hmm.
Yes. Actually, I have a doubt regarding these. Like, is it enough, like 1 hour kind of lectures for every topic? Because, like, I just did my machine learning, like, as a basic thing in my previous semester. Uh, I don't think that
No,
within 1 hour.
yeah, Arvind, these are like, I don't even, I agree with you. Only with the classification techniques, logistic regression
Mhm.
taking. Only with the
Okay.
logistic regression itself, it will go with a one lecture. Because,
Mhm.
and, it just, we roughly put the timings, 1 hour, 30 minutes. But in reality,
Mhm.
it takes little more. Okay, so
Yes, 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 yeah.
even SVM, logistic regression, random forest, each one technique, once again followed by the application in Python with the libraries. Okay, so
Okay.
these are just for giving an idea.
Okay, and at the same time, I have another question is like, how much you will focus on the Python programming, like, because like I just know I have not gone through any programming in my previous semester. I just go through the basics like about the clustering part and coming to the decision trees, how you can classify a tree and how you can cut up that is pruning and everything. But I have not gone through any programming. And how well you focused Python programming on this particular section, like within 1 hour or something like that, you whatever the time you mentioned.
Yeah, so in the particularly, in the lecture with
Mm.
respect to imagine supervised learning. So
Mm.
if we take like today's supervised learning, if it is being
Mm.
covered, then
Mm.
tomorrow, because
Mm.
in Python, especially with machine learning, every day we don't write new programming. So
Yeah.
any project, if you take n number of projects, almost 50 to 60% of the programming is in the same programming. It will transfer, just copy paste. Okay.
Mm.
So
Mm.
like importing the libraries and data processing, everything is same techniques, right? So
Yeah.
our intention is, and at the end of by the end of the course, you will, I mean, by yourself, you will handle with the Python with the data. That's it.
Yeah. What you can suggest for the beginners like me, like I don't know anything about Python, to be frank. Like
Yeah.
I just know the word, that's it, that's it. Even I don't know how to program there, and even I don't know about the like I can just handle about Java, but not the Python. How you
Yeah.
can suggest for me? Like, is it okay to go with this course?
Okay, if you know Java, I don't think so that the Python would be a big deal because I
Mm.
have done my PhD. Okay,
Mm.
even I'm not my background is not with computer science IT,
Mm.
but I have done my master's in
Mm.
AI, artificial intelligence. Okay, my
Okay.
applications in transportation and artificial intelligence. So
Okay.
it won't be a big deal, non-technical or technical person with handling the Python. And we
Mm.
do we'll try to give you from basics onwards the Python, especially like from
Okay.
starting we'll try to give you a basics of Python, then followed
Okay.
by we'll try to give you a basic structures, preparing the how to form the structure. Then the
Okay.
libraries and all, it's just importing the library. We don't write the extensive programming on the Python, especially for machine learning and data science.
Okay.
Yeah.
And actually, like, do you discuss the problems that which you gave us like a task to do something like that? Because like, you don't mind, I'm saying like this, like I just attended some kind of webinars previously about the machine learning. The
Yeah.
problems that which they are discussed are like when we are listening their problems that seems to be very easy, but coming to the task when we are doing something, then it is like we don't know like from where to start and what to do. So, like, do you discuss about the tasks that which you gave, like as a like to do in like homework or something like that?
Yeah, I'll give you a just example. I think Harish was there on the earlier classes in another batch.
Mhm.
So if we go with the what we call quiz, a quiz is just 5 to 10 questions, right? So but
Okay.
sometimes only with the quiz itself the class is going to be end because each
Mhm.
and every question has to be understand, right? So the
Mhm.
instructor is there to make you understand why it is. There are four options. Why not others?
Yes,
The
yes.
question is answer is A, but why not B, C, D? So the instructor was there. So we don't just let you go with the answers. We'll make you
Mhm.
understand why does what happen, especially with
Mhm.
that. So even with the data, because that's there. Even Sian asked us like how long does the course? But usually we prepare because we are not going only with like a commercial point of view, but we are trying to make you understand everything, right? So even if the Kuldeep is not available for the particular class, the other instructor will take that class and make you understand that. So we have like a mix of technology, a mix of like domains here. Kuldeep is specialized in healthcare sector, and what we call the Praveen is specialized in finance and images, and what we call Naresh is specialized in transportation, self-driving, and banking sector, right? So if one person is, if you want to be more clarity on that, so the other instructor will take you in personal sessions as well. So we don't just let you with the answers. We'll try to make
Yes.
you understand.
Yeah, Gandhi, I want to share my experience. So on the other batch, so that's true. Like, it's really like more focused on the hands-on. It just not on just like a theoretical part, but actually like really on the hands-on. So we like they mentioned in the slides that it's gonna be in 1 hour, but it's not. But it's not going to be complete in 1 hour. So maybe the explanation is going to be in 1 hour, but the hands-on and the real-time. So with the real-time examples, it's going to take some more time. Uh, and also like from our like student perspective, and we also need to put some more time, not only on the class timings, but maybe like per week, 2 to 3 hours or 4 to 5 hours per week. So if you put that effort, so that's very much easy for us. Um, because so right now like I'm in that situation. I'm also like I was scared, like I also don't know Python. I have like maybe 10 or 20% of programming language, and I don't know Java too. Java is too much difficult, I think, rather
Yes,
than
yes, I
Python.
agree with you.
Exactly, like it's like Java has more complex structure than Python. Python is just like you're talking to another person, just like the English. I understood that. And even now, like I'm not experienced in Python. I just know the basics of Python, but actually I can write some data processing techniques. I would say that, especially that's thanks to the Praveen. So actually he's my instructor.
So what's the timing, Harish, for the one that you're following that the other session that uh, the
The
is
other
it
batch is like with Wednesday because the other people in Toronto who is working for in cloud computing, those people are. So
okay?
we just because even Praveen is also happy to take the weekdays classes. So
Okay,
and those class, yeah, that batch is about to end like the next couple of weeks, I think 1 2 weeks.
okay,
Yeah, it's by end actually. Now they are in close to the project.
okay.
Uh,
So are you
yeah.
planning to start another sessions on Wednesday then?
Yeah, actually, the Kuldeep and the Praveen will be taking care of the new batch. So that's why actually we don't want to be make the 10, 20 peoples in the group. So we
Right.
just want two to three or max five if we can, because otherwise the instructor cannot concentrate on the candidate or the student. Because the student, especially, it seems like for machine learning, the people thinks that it's very tough task, and the
No,
people think
exactly.
it's more
I
related
totally
to
agree.
yeah, it's more related to mathematics. They need lot of mathematical programming and they need PhD in mathematics, but in reality, it's not. So that's why even the Kuldeep and Praveen, they are very I could say if you can meet them for coffee or somewhere, they are available in Montreal. You will understand how patient these guys are.
Okay. Sure.
Okay.
Yeah, we would like to meet once. Maybe we can go for a coffee. Yeah, sure.
Yeah. We all are can catch up here somewhere because on parallel that we have another the team of persons working for getting projects with Government of Canada for what we call in consulting part.
Okay.
Okay, even Kuldeep is the part of Livia group. Kuldeep, can you explain about Livia?
Yeah, yeah. So
Livia.
we have like a laboratory for AI and image processing, which is like in Libya. So it was like part of one of the leading labs in artificial intelligence in Montreal. It's University de Quebec. So for example, if you search for the Canadian AI ecosystem for the previous 2 years. So in Montreal, it's like Mila is there, the Gerard lab is there, then the Livia, which is like from the where we did from where I did my PhD. So those are like the part of the labs which are like contributing to the AI research in Montreal. So that's like one of the things.
Right. Are you getting fund? Like, I mean, I know there is in federal government there is fund, National Research Council, NRC, or something that they fund these new initiatives, right?
Yes,
Yeah,
go
yeah,
ahead.
please, Kuldeep.
So actually, like that's more like with the lab. So that's at the level of the professor. So we have like a chair in AI for our lab, like, and then the chair in AI for medical imaging. So artificial intelligence in medical image analysis, and then there are two general chairs which are like on AI in artificial intelligence and all. So yeah, that's like the part of the lab is there. So that's like one aspect.
Okay, got you.
You
Even
can
even
search my.
even as you, yeah, I'll just add one point to Kuldeep's like. So yes, you're right, Sian. The government is supporting here in Mont Quebec, in Canada. So if you can fund like 50%, the government will be share the other another 50% for your projects.
Oh,
So
I see.
even if you see now, actually the Montreal is becoming world's AI hub.
Oh, good to
Yeah,
hear.
so that is there. So because even the lot of people, even the professors or the chiefs of AI are located in Montreal. That's the main point for us, and that is very big asset for us in being in Montreal.
Right, right. Sure. Yeah. So the other
Yeah.
class on the mathematical ML, is it something that also useful after this course? Is it useful to take?
So that
To
is for because in our board of directors there is a Gurpreet Singh. He's a director, senior director for Cognizant.
okay.
So he's working for senior director artificial intelligence in Cognizant company. So he suggested us because we give lectures for companies, organizations like. So he suggested to start because I don't think so. Right now we required mathematics in artificial intelligence. That is more related to what we call research point of view. If you're already in machine learning, if you're already in data science, I mean both are almost same. So if you're already there, then you could maybe if you are in a project manager or somewhere in the higher levels, then you will need that
It's
just to insight. But
it's more of a advanced calculus kind of.
yeah, but not calculus, but at this stage we don't require those lectures, but those lectures are more for professionals, those
Oh,
those
sure.
those courses are for professionals. But to start our career in AI or DS, data science, that's what our focus. Once if you are getting, maybe you will see next couple of years how big the change. Now the research is going on, even in the internships also going on with human resources. The human resource. I'm pretty sure by 2022 there is no more HRs available. Okay, so they are going to be replaced with machine learning. So in every organization, and there are some technologies is going to be the fade out.
You're
So
saying data centers will be replaced by the ML?
the data scientists are machine learner, machine learning engineers. So these
Oh,
people
okay.
are replaced by some of the human. The people HRs. Imagine these people sit in front of the computers throughout the day and shortlist the candidates, right? But
Oh, it's
now,
okay.
yeah, now the machine learning is going to be replace them.
Oh,
So
okay.
like
So
that, there are different sectors. I think by next 5-10 years, you will see like only the data science and machine learning can lead the industry.
I see. Okay, so there will be more automated than the manual.
Exactly,
Okay.
exactly. Yeah,
Okay.
so that's where, and even Kuldeep was spent like almost 8 years in machine learning, right?
Yeah,
And
yeah.
even Praveen is almost 9 to 10 years, and Naresh is 9 to 10 years only in machine learning. And these people are not like with a different sector, a different stream to the machine learning. From starting itself, they are into the machine learning and AI.
Right. Okay. Thank you.
Yeah, so
Yeah.
our next batch actually, I'll even me or some of my team will be contact you. So whenever the next batch, we are planning for that. So probably in this month, maybe next couple of weeks, we will start the batch.
Sure. All right.
Yeah,
Actually, I have a question, Gandhi. Like,
is that
can you please explain me, somewhat like brief about the project that which you are saying at the end of the course?
Yeah, actually, we are interested, based upon the candidate. If the candidate is want to be into finance sector, we'll take the
Mm-hmm.
financial project because we have a couple of projects with us already. So because the only thing is based on the candidate's interest, right? The student is interested in finance because in Canada we have mainly 2 to 3 sectors leading Canada, right? One is finance,
Mm-hmm.
another one is telecommunication, the another one is insurance,
Mm-hmm.
right?
Okay.
So
And are there any like instructors from Germany, who are operating from Germany?
yeah, Naresh Adepu, he's senior tech lead for that KPIT and
Okay.
BMW. Yeah,
Okay. Currently, he's in Germany, right?
yeah, currently
Like,
he's in
he will
Germany.
operate. Oh, fine,
Yeah,
fine. Thank you. Okay.
yeah, he's on site.
Yeah. Okay.
And I want to
So
share my experience, Gandhi, here to
yeah,
Arvind
please.
on the project, so that I'm actually working. Uh, so the one guy is uh, so the one I got is for the finance, like is the same example as like which kind of credit card it's suitable for a certain person. It's like a personalized
Mm-hmm.
credit card. So what kind of deals uh, that a person might like. So based on that, that kind of credit card is going to be assigned to a particular customer of
Cool.
the bank.
Yeah.
It's going to be like
Yes.
a personalized credit card.
Mm-hmm.
It's like how we are getting um, uh, the interest products on the Amazon when we open is the same as like
Mm-hmm.
that, like the personalized credit cards in the finance. So on that
It's
problem,
like
actually,
recommendations.
I'm working on now.
Yeah,
But actually,
even
yeah, it's a big one, but we need a data set and we need to process that uh, in that problem actually. So we were working on it.
Mm-hmm.
so why?
Okay. Okay.
Because if you see like the recent startups in Montreal, especially in finance and transport. So Flinks, there is one company called Flinks, which is located at Central Bell. So these people working for National Bank and BMO. So these people only specialized in finance sector, especially with machine learning and data science. What do? They try to find the fraud detection in credit card and banking, and that is one of the good startup recent times. It started 3-4 years back, but it's really picked up very well. So my conclusion is like, irrespective of the sector, if you know the application, it's easy to work on any kind of sectors.
Okay.
Yeah.
What is called? Is Flinks, Gandhi?
Yeah, Flinks, Flinks, Flinks.
Okay, gotcha.
Yeah. So these people, actually, the group of people started that. Now it's really good. They're just working only with finance. So that's where, in Canada, if you see, even with what we call the rental cars. For rental cars also, recently we got one request for rental cars, machine learning engineer for that particular domain, just to see because a lot of people claim that insurances, right? So after taking the cars, and they need to be see the demand of that cars during peak hours. And if you see like STM or the Bixi bicycles, so all these people comes under transportation sector, even CN, Bombardier, or the aeroplanes. I mean, so these sectors. So these people are requesting for machine learning engineers right now. So all they need is how to implement the what we call the algorithms or models. We
And a
can
final
plan.
question.
Yeah, please, Evan.
Yeah, and a final question from me, like, what you can say, like, after completion of this course, where we can stand, like, as a basic, in the basic level, or else in the intermediate level, where we can stand, like, after completion of this course.
You can really start a career, actually. That's our
Mm-hmm.
intention, right? You can really start a career with machine learning engineer, because in this process of the course, you will try to understand handling the data, because these people are real-time experienced people. Because Praveen also work as a team lead, some of the companies in Samsung, Senecron, and now we are dealing with some of the private projects. So you are going to be monitored by the team leads and project managers, right? So you are not going to be monitored by the academic guy. That's
Yeah.
what. So by the end of the course, you can handle the project. May not be like the project manager level, because you need to know the process of the project. So, but yes, you can start your career with as a machine learning engineer or data science. Because maybe you might be confused, like the difference between data. I just want to give you a brief explanation on that. Uh, so data science and machine learning is just like a siblings. So even in machine learning, Kuldeep, can you go to the next slide?
Yeah, sure.
The next one. Yeah, here. If you see that the data processing, data preparation, data pre-processing, feature engineering, so this is nothing but a data science.
Okay.
Okay. So the bagging, boosting, cross validation. Usually the data scientists do this particular data processing the course, only
Mhm.
this, and
Okay.
he will try to understand some of the machine learning techniques. What do they do? Usually the data scientist, before that there is a people called data analysis, like data business intelligence and data analyst. Those people try to make understand, try to process the data, and they will give to data scientist. Then the data scientist will try to find the insights of the data, and he will give to machine learning engineer, ML engineer.
Okay.
Okay. So
Okay.
now here as a ML in this course, what we do, we'll try to make you understand how to deal with the data, how to process the data, how to take the insight of the data, right? So with that data, you will try to make the models in machine learning.
Okay.
So this is typically happen in the industry. The machine learning engineer can do everything, but the industry don't allow them. The industry make them do BI, business intelligence people or data analysts, to take the data, collect the data, and they will transfer to the data scientists. It's not nothing. We no need to be called as the scientist, but the industry give that logo like data scientist. The
Yeah.
data scientist can taking care of the data processing, just like a cooking. Before coming to the
Mm.
chef, there are a lot of people, like one person going to marketing, right? So they will get
Yes.
the market, they will grab the material, and the other person shopping these vegetables, all this stuff, and the chef finally the chef going to be cook that cuisine, right? So that's
Yeah.
the same thing applicable here. The who will going to be do the market and get grab the material from the metro or some of the like Provigo. So those are data analysts, data collectors, okay. And who will chopping the vegetables, and who will preparing the stuff is called data scientist. And the chef here called is as machine learning engineer.
Yes.
That's, I hope you understand.
Yes. Yes. Yes.
Yeah. Saying any questions?
Thanks to Gandhi. So it was thanks Kuldeep and the team, Gandhi, everyone for this introductory session.
Yeah, we can catch up somewhere for a coffee sometime.
Sure.
But yeah,
Yeah, actually, Harish, myself, and Priyanka also like at CN and Aravind as well. So
yeah. Even I think Kuldeep also working close to CN.
Uh,
Kuldeep.
Yeah.
yes, but
So,
sorry, I'm not in Canada right now. Like I'm in Germany. Maybe
oh,
so that's the
okay.
reason why I'm asking you. Is there any instructor from Germany?
Yeah, but he's working for this batch, Arvind. I don't know you are in Germany. Sorry.
Yeah, but it's okay. It's okay. It's okay.
So you will be in Canadian time zones. But if you need, I can ask. I can request Naresh to taking care of you, because but if you are with two to three people in a group, so you will understand the
Yeah.
different prospects, right? Because Ian will have different idea on the approach, so you will see, and you can work together as a team.
Yes.
So that will help for you. But yeah, so see, Arvind, did you leave your email ID and the phone number so that I will ask Naresh will contact
Yeah. Sure. 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 I mean, in the chart.
in the chat or in your email also? I think you might get our email, right?
Yes. Yes. I can reply to that. Right. Yes.
Yeah,
Sure.
so
Sure.
just leave your contact. So I will ask Naresh to contact you.
Yeah. Sure. 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 I will.
Okay. So Sian, thank you, Sian. Thank you, Arvind. Thank you, Hari.
Yeah.
thanks so
Thank you,
much.
Thank you.
everyone. It was really nice. Yeah. See you.
Yeah,
Yeah.
enjoy your weekend. Bye bye.
Yeah,
Have a
bye
nice
now.
weekend. Bye bye.
Yeah.
Thank you. Bye bye.
Kuldeep.